This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. I finished 2 deliveries in Uber tonight, and I was out in the rain, cold rain, for several hours with delivery trips much longer than I expected. The app is set so that it knows I'm a walker, and I believe it's choosing routes for me that are appropriate for a walker. But they're way outside of my expectations. I'm thinking about getting a scooter. I'm thinking about renovating my expectations. It's not resolved. I was wet and cold. It was both terrible and awesome, mostly awesome. I'm going to share my screen and go through some tweets. Okay, present to everyone. Share screen. Okay, this was my first tweet. All my tweets were done after the fact. These were just screen captures. So I cropped them and put some white space around them just to make them a little more focused, trying to bring attention to what my point rather than my whole screen. So 6 minutes. All of mine say 6 minutes, I think. Until tonight, I thought alls I had to decide whether I wanted this or not, you certainly don't have 6 minutes, you have like 40 seconds, is the address. And I had to quickly do a Google map and say, and I mean a mental Google app, and be on it. There's plenty of time if you're sitting inside, you're comfortable, like I was when I got this first one. Really, my phone is in my hand or on the table in front of me. As soon as it does whatever it does with the notification, my eyes are on it in the first seconds. So in addition to being able to capture the screen grab, I got plenty of time to decide if I'm going to accept it. 54 Bergen Line, 5401 Bergen Line is something I know. I even know what that restaurant is. So, okay, I couldn't do 5401. But it was no surprise to me. In a game show, I probably could have guessed it. But anyways, when it did tell me what restaurant that was, it was no surprise to me because I know that section of Bergen Line Avenue. So listeners, I learned this after 2 deliveries. If you are in the double digits on deliveries and you have not learned what I'm about to tell you, you will be so glad you watched this video. I was looking at this as just some kind of nonsense icon giving you the circle, this blue line disappears until it gets all the way up here, then it all goes black, and then you miss it. You got to tap here. I'm trying to talk to 2 different audiences. People who have done Uber know this. Everybody knows this. So you tap to accept it. Well, what I didn't realize is this circle is a map of where the restaurant is. And got this, am I going to look here at the address and try to do a Google map? Or am I going to look here? Like I say, if I'm ready, I'm sitting the phone. My eyes are on the screen in the first seconds of being alerted. It seems like I have plenty of time. But the reality of it is that's not the case. I was cold. My clothes were wet. My hands were wet. On the second one, I have a hard time getting my phone out of my pocket. So the luxury and cushy time I had on the first one, I simply just didn't have on the second one. Listeners, park near restaurant. Park. I'm a walker. The walker Uber Eats thing is a half-baked sidecar of Uber. And this is one example. There's instructions for people that park, and there's driving directions for people that drive. The obvious walking route is right down Bergen Line, take a right, and you're there. That's what I did, but this sends you on this roundabout driving way because of one-way streets. I'm probably trying to get the drivers to go a little faster route. So this is crazy long to me. I never expected it to be that long. My first delivery was like from here to the W. And I thought, okay, that's what it's going to be like. Tonight I did my second and third. So my first delivery was on a different night. I go from like this blue dot to the W. Okay, I can handle that. And now all of a sudden I'm all of this. I think it's like 3 miles. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. There's a restaurant I went to, Popeyes. This tweet is not in a great order. This is Popeyes. And then I should have shown the map. Popeyes is here. Destination for the customer was about 3 miles south. Here's my second delivery. Again, I go back to Popeyes. Just crazy. And this time my first delivery was down here, and now I'm all the way down into Hoboken. Now, I really believe I have some locals, but I do know that my readers, my listeners are more broad-based than local. I do think when it comes to these videos of Postmates and now Uber, that most of the people are New York or New Jersey. So if you are local, you have some idea to be able to calculate this. The distance is almost irrelevant. I don't even want to say the distance, but local people, you know that nobody walks this far. That's like something you do on a fitness thing and then go drink healthy juice afterwards. This is not like I'll walk to the store. This is a huge walk for locals. Now, maybe Californians on a boardwalk in, Los Angeles County or Orange County, they think this is nothing. But in this area, it's a lot. Listeners, please don't miss the significance of if you are listening to this because you're doing or considering Uber or some other delivery. I write this when I captured the screen. It had been 2 hours since I wrote. And my attention was brought to this exchange because Vaughn wrote me back. And at the time, it was 23 minutes. So if you take 2 hours minus 23 minutes, you get the amount of time that it took Vaughn to respond to Tom. Given the circumstances, which are here, help urgent. This is me writing. Help urgent. Food can't reach customer. Help urgent. Dorman can't find Jaylene S. And 2 hours minus 23 minutes, Vaughn responds to me. So this is an absolute total disaster. Listeners, if you don't know this already, you're on your own. I had a problem because my app had cleared and I no longer had the ability to communicate with Jaylene. And the doorman, as I say here, couldn't find her. The doorman is a genius. He said, well, okay, this delivery guy doesn't have an apartment number, but the address does say this building. Maybe it's a liquor store. Well, the liquor store wasn't a liquor store. It was a wine store, and he was exactly right. He called over there for me, and he found that Jaylene is an employee of the liquor store, wine store, called Cork. And then that's what I made tonight, $8.24. I did get a little bit of tip. So with tip, I'm into the double digits, not 8 in the single digits. I made it to the triple digits. And then this here is some promotion I'm doing. I'm cutting these small pieces of paper and stapling them to these cards, and I distribute them in a commercial area near my apartment. I did that for couple hours today, and they have the address of the Uber. And they say walk, bike, drive, my name and number. And that's my code. Listeners, if you're considering Uber and it's not too late, please put in your code. I guarantee I will make reference to the fact that I have a new person who has used me as their, who has accepted my invitation to use my invite code and enroll, apply. And the truth is, tonight I was wet and cold. I had this drama with the app that suddenly closed my order even though I wasn't done. And it was just a disaster. It was at the end of my second delivery, and I was wet to, my clothes were just soaked. It's wet and cold, and I'm a long way from home on foot. So it was really a difficult situation. Yet, here's my tweet saying that I'm doing the live stream that I'm doing right now. And that's it. So anyways, tonight, 2 deliveries, $8. You know, a guy my age running around in the cold to bring millennials food, it's absolutely ridiculous. And at the same time, it just woke me up about how awesome I thought Postmates was and what a disaster it was for me when my account got frozen at Postmates. So I am so happy to be back at this. I don't have to go into New York to do it. You know, I got hungry millennials, and I show up. I'm old enough to be the dad of these people, and they would, if they were my daughters, I've had 2 women, so 3 women so far, there's no way they'd ask me to go get them Popeyes or Louis Barbecue. I'll get it, dear. And then middle-aged American goes and schleps food for a millennial. I'm telling you, they would fall over themselves to stop me from doing something nice like that. So anyways, it's a total happy fest for me. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American, living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.